Don't use a blockchain in your application unless you watch this video, okay? I'm gonna go over some really critical things you need to consider before you even think about using the blockchain inside your app, all right? So before we get into that, hey, if you're new around here, I'm Gregory from Dapp University. On this channel, I teach you how to become a blockchain developer. So click the like button down below, click subscribe, and if you want the roadmap to becoming a six-figure blockchain developer, you need to join my training on my website over at dappuniversity.com/bootcamp. So I'm actually making this video in response to some other projects that I've worked on, consulted on, and some recent questions that I've gotten from prospective clients, okay? And I'm gonna make this video just like if I were your technical advisor. So just consider this some free consultation, all right? So if you came to me with an idea that you wanted to build for a blockchain app, these are the kinds of things that I would tell you so that you don't steer off a cliff, right? So when someone comes to me and says, hey, I wanna build a blockchain application, a Dapp, something that uses smart contracts or leverages the blockchain in some way, they usually think about it just like a regular old application. They don't consider these things. So for example, let's say you wanted to build some sort of blockchain-based game, right? A lot of people come into this thinking that it's gonna work just like a regular game would. And they start to think about all the other things they would normally need to build this kind of thing without the blockchain. So what would you need to pull this off? Well, you'd probably need some sort of, client-side application that could be on the web or mobile or both. And both of those things would need to talk to, some sort of back-end web service that could manage your user information and all your other app data, right? That would power your mobile app or your client-side app. It would also have some business logic. It basically would be where most of your app lives and everything just gets served to one of these clients. So both of these things, you're gonna need some sort of graphic designer to create an interface that looks really nice and, someone who's good with user experience to make sure people can use your application really easily. And when people think about building this same kind of game for the blockchain, a lot of times they just think, hey, I just need a website and a mobile app or maybe one or the other. And then I'm just gonna, replace this backend web service to the blockchain. I'm just gonna hook it straight up and it would work just like it would if I was gonna build this app the regular way. Well, there's a lot more that you need than just this. And I'm gonna explain all those things and kind of go through them step by step and some things you really need to think about along the way. So you're gonna wanna watch the entire explanation to make sure you're not missing anything. Okay, so if you're gonna build this kind of application, this game for the blockchain, sure, you could have a mobile client and a web client also, but instead of just hooking it up to the blockchain, you're probably gonna need a few different things. You probably will need some sort of backend web service to store some other data, but you don't wanna put everything on a blockchain, right? So you might need the blockchain, you might need some smart contracts written for the blockchain, you might also need this extra web service to store some extra information that's not suited for the smart contract or for the blockchain itself. So that's one critical piece people often overlook. And then here's the next critical step. Whenever people are actually using your application, they need a wallet to connect to the blockchain. And you're gonna have one really critical decision to make here that's gonna kind of give you a fork in the road. If you go down one way, it's gonna have a certain set of consequences. And if you go down another way, it's gonna have another set of consequences, and also benefits. So how will your users connect to the blockchain? Well, let's just start with let's start with the web first. They need a wallet to do this. So you have to decide, are you going to control the user's private keys or are you gonna make them install a wallet like MetaMask? So here's why this is such a challenging decision. So if you look at a Dapp like CryptoKitties, it's like 99% of users or something like that, whenever they go to the website, bounce and never signed up and never used it anyway because they were asked to install a Chrome extension before even proceeding. So you have to decide if that's something you want to deal with your own application, if you're going to ask somebody to install a plugin like MetaMask before they even use your app, okay? But if you go the other route and you actually control their private keys and hold funds for the users for this game, then you might be classified as a money transmitter, which could be a showstopper for your application, okay? So this is not legal advice. I'm not a lawyer. Don't take this as legal advice. You always want to consult an attorney before, you do this kind of thing. But that's a big hurdle that a lot of parties run into when they want to just, control private keys for somebody else. This is kind of a deal breaker. So you're gonna have to decide, how are you gonna access this wallet? Is the user gonna do it, or are you gonna do it, right? So there's some critical questions you have to answer. And there are some other solutions coming out of the market right now that I'm really excited about that can make this problem a lot better in the long term, but they're not quite ready yet for prime time for integration into other applications, okay? So same kind of thing for mobile. Like if you want somebody to access this blockchain-based game with their mobile phone, they have to install a blockchain browser. So do you really want someone to open, your project and say, oh, I can't, access this unless I download a new app? Or if you wanted to create a native mobile app, you have a huge challenge, which is you essentially have to rebuild all the wallet functionality, right? and you might be subject to the same kinds of money transmitter issues that I talked about previously. So like I said, not legal advice, go check with your lawyer on that, but it's really hard to just rebuild all the mobile functionality inside of a mobile Dapp if you want to do it that way. And also you might have a really hard time getting this thing listed in the App Store, because I know a lot of other cryptocurrency wallets and things like that have had issues with these gatekeepers. And you might want to check on that before you try to just build your own mobile application for your business like this, okay? All right, so once you've got that figured out, you can start creating an app that uses, a web service of some kind, but also talks to the blockchain. And you might just be sending transactions with cryptocurrency on the blockchain, maybe with some existing smart contracts out there, or just with native Ethereum cryptocurrency itself. But if you want to develop smart contracts, that is another thing to think about, okay? And this is where this is really important. This is where people under budget, all right? And they under budget on cost and time, which are really the same thing, but here's why. So basically, they underestimate how much it costs to actually develop a good smart contract for two reasons. One, a really good smart contract developer is expensive, and the other is having the smart contract audited. Right? If you were going to have me as your technical advisor, I would never let you put something on the Ethereum mainnet without having an auditor look at it, okay? That would just be completely unadvisable. So you have to consider a couple things. Auditors are also expensive, so you have to budget that in whenever you're going to have a smart contract ready for the mainnet. And number two, you have to factor in how much a good smart contract developer actually costs to create a smart contract that's ready for the mainnet. And you don't want to cut corners on a smart contract developer who's not that good, because if you get sent to auditing, they're going to send it back. That's going to cost you more money. And ultimately, if you send a smart contract to the mainnet that loses everyone's money, that's a huge problem for your business in the long run. So do not cut corners there. Also, with the smart contract auditors, you don't know what their timelines look like. You don't know what the smart contract developers look like. This can just be a huge bottleneck for your project that could take a while. Now, it's worth the wait, because oftentimes it's the secret sauce of your decentralized applications. But just factor that in ahead of time, that this could be a place where your budget gets blown and your timelines also get blown. But then once you cross a lot of those hurdles, the next big thing is coordination, is plugging all this stuff together. Getting a web app that actually integrates with the wallets, the mobile app, with your web server that does any off-chain, computation and storage, and integrating that with smart contracts, with the blockchain, and getting it all plugged in together. It's a pretty big coordinated effort, and there's typically a lot more moving parts in a scenario like this than sort of this simple, scenario that I mentioned earlier. Like if you just want to go out and build an MVP for a business, you could just have a website. They could even be a monolithic website without this mobile app right here that doesn't even have, it's just one web server, right? One process that does all this stuff. But in this case, you have a lot of different pieces moving around that you need in order to even get an MVP out for a decentralized application that's ready for other people to use. There's a lot of friction ready to overcome to do this. So yeah, those are just some things to think about before you try building your first blockchain application that's going to be pushed out to the mainnet. And honestly, this is really valuable information that comes from my experience that, if you didn't heed this, it could cost you tens of thousands of dollars and a lot of extra lost time in the long run if you just didn't do the right things for your project. Okay, so I hope you all like this video. If you're interested in working on a project, you need some advising or something like that, or even someone to build your project, just hit me up in my inbox down below, Gregory@dappuniversity.com. As always, subscribe to the channel, click the like button down below. Again, if you want the roadmap to becoming a six-figure blockchain developer, you need to join my free training on my website over at dappuniversity.com/bootcamp. All right, until next time. Thanks for watching Dapp University.